Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam L, and this is Talk with the Titans. Tonight's show is entitled Sara Suten Seti versus Zion Lexx, the debate discussion. You know what? I know plenty of you lot have seen, Saneter's channel, where we see both Titans squaring up at each other right at the end. It looked really epic, really dramatic. You know what? Our brother Seti was throwing daggers everywhere. Zion Lexx was dodging and actually hitting some body blows at the same time. So we're going to have a discussion about this. We've got Seti on the line. We've also got Zion Lexx calling in, but there has actually been some great revelations that have taken place within the last few hours. And I think for most people who don't know about it, this is going to be an exclusive. So stay tuned. So I'm going to actually open up to the panel. And also, if you actually want to get onto the panel as well, today is going to be a very interactive show. So if you want to speak with Seti, if you want to speak with Zion, if you want to speak with any of the other panel members, just hit me up in my Facebook, Kalam SPEL, or on the Talk with the Titans page, and we can get it in. So without further ado, I'd just like to welcome everybody. We've got Isa from the UK. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, family. Looking forward to this.
Excellent. You know what? Indeed. And we've also got Team Osiris, Kufu, Ma'acheru in the building. Peace to the God.
Peace, peace. Team Osiris is on the horizon. www.teamosiris.com. Peace.
Right. And we've also got Courtney, who's also a member of Team Maat.
Peace, peace, everyone.
Okay, excellent. And we've also got Do the Knowledge Radio and Seti. Do the Knowledge Radio, are you there? All right. So
yeah, peace, Kalam. I'm here. I'm just trying to get Seti back on the phone.
All right, excellent. So we're gonna get Seti back on the phone. So I really would like somebody to give us an overview of what's actually been transpiring with inside of the community so far. I'm wondering who is actually up to speed. But for those who don't actually know, there is a big debate taking place. I believe it's March the 20th, where we have two camps battling out against each other. We have the Kemetic community, or the Kemetic side, which is represented by Brother Polight and Brother Sara Suten Seti. And on the other side, we've got Zion Lexx, and we've got a Jewish man from Israel, Rabbi Harry Rosenberg. And they're going to be having a debate on the 20th of March. And this is going to be something that's very phenomenal if it takes place, because as I said, there's been quite a lot of stir in the community so far. So really and truly, I'm going to actually just open up someone's mic. Who wants to come in first to actually discuss this? I'm going to open it up to you, my brother.
Well, I'll come in. This is Kufu.
Yes, my brother Kufu. Team Osiris on the horizon. So,
yes,
so what's your take so far, lad? Let me know what's been going on.
Well, actually, I don't know exactly what's been going on. There's a lot of things taking place. But if the lecture does go on, I'm just trying to see what angle the brother would come from as far as attacking his scholarship and his affiliation with Rabbi Harry Rosenberg.
All right. And you know what? I'm actually going to drop some exclusives right about now. I'm hearing it. So I want to know, everybody on YouTube land, confirm this with me. Confirm this with me in the comment section. We're hearing so far, breaking news, that Brother Zion Lexx has actually pulled out of the debate. There's quite a lot of talk where he's actually either pulling out of the debate, not necessarily the debate with Seti, but actually pulling out of interacting with Saneter. I don't know how true that is. So you all have to give me a confirmation on that. I have actually spoken with Zion Lexx, and he does, has, kind of said to me, can we please do this debate on your platform? Can we please do this debate on Talk with the Titans? So I don't know what may take place. I'm going to have to speak with Saneter and see what's going on and see what we can do here, family. So I'm going to bring everybody back in. So, Isa, are you there? Have you been staying up and in tune with what's been taking place?
Well, yes, brother. So far, I basically saw the square off, so to speak. And I was impressed with the way Zion Lexx dealt with that. I think the first blow Zion Lexx gave demolishes a whole heap of, the Kemites' ideology that the Bible is a book that's anti what they call African. Do you understand? And they quote, several verses. Seti come out with the Noah and the Ham story and Canaan and stuff, but then the brother come back with the Nama Palette, and that's the reality. We can't use the modern day paradigm, especially the modern day Western Caucasian paradigm of this idea of a continent called Africa, where the people are African and that kind of food. They didn't see themselves that way. So to come with it now and pretend that's the way you saw it back then, and any wars and disputes were going on back then can be looked at through the glasses of today, is absolutely ridiculous. So if that's the theme of the debate, then Zion Lexx has smashed the whole thing already.
I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that. You know what? I'm just literally watching the chatter that's going on in the YouTube comment section. It's going crazy. You know what? There's a lot of support actually for Seti on this debate. There's a lot of support, but I don't want this support to be a misplaced support, because Zion Lexx is definitely a force not to be reckoned with. He's that person that really knows how to, really bite at you, really gnaw at you. You know what I actually call him? I actually call him the gadfly that stings the horse. He's that one individual that can really sting and upset a whole community by his words. He's a fearless individual that went up against the whole Kemetic community at the Kemetic War Conference. I believe he was the only actual Hebrew that stood up amongst the Kemetic community at their own conference. That is absolutely unprecedented. So, Zion Lexx is no joke. He should not be actually taken lightly. But at the same time, this is the general that we're talking about. This is Sara Suten Seti. You know what? When that name is resounded, it feels like there's fire going on in my tummy. I don't know about you. So we're gonna get this in. We're gonna get Seti back on again. We're going to get Zion in the mix, but I want to talk. And you know what? Anybody who wants to join right now, join the panel and have your say. I'm going to open it up. But if you don't have anything to say, I do apologize, because there's going to be loads of people that want to get in and to have their say tonight and actually speak with these titans that are on the show. So you know what? I'm actually posting right now as we speak. I'm posting the panel link up underneath the YouTube description box. So if you check the YouTube description box literally right now, this second, go into the description section, go into the description section, click where it says panel link, and it will take you directly into this live chat. We're going to be very interactive. We're going to take your questions, we're going to take your comments, and we're going to listen to your concerns as well. So
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Courtney. It's your time to speak.
I just want to be sure, like, what exactly are they debating? Like, what is the subject or the question, or what are they debating?
Sorry, could you just mute your mic? Yeah, that's a very, very good question. Without actually letting let the rabbit out of the bag, I actually spoke with the Rabbi Harry Rosenberg, and this same issue kind of came up. They haven't actually finalized what they're going to actually be talking about. It was initially to do whether the Hebrew or the Jewish God actually exists, whether the Bible is an anti-African book, but it seems as though they're having a dialogue. They're having a dialogue of how can we have a much more enriching and full debate and dialogue between everybody. So I do think that it's going to come out in a few weeks' time, where the flyers will change and more information shall be given. But as for now, it's kind of up in the air. All we literally know right now, it is a Hebrew verse Kemet affair again. That's literally what we know. So it's going to be very interesting to see what is going to actually come out.
Well, what role is the rabbi supposed to play in all of this? Like, what is he gaining from being a part of this kind of a debate?
Who, you know what? This is a good question. I don't know if you was here. You was here. I believe you was here. When we had the Polight versus Rabbi Rosenberg this debate
I
discussion.
wasn't on that particular panel. I wasn't.
Okay, so we had the rabbi. He came in, and he was expressing the reasons why he was actually doing the debate. How he was actually, pretty much clueless about what agenda was trying to be pushed on the Saneter Polight scenario. He does know that Polight has been in various debates, and to his words, Polight has been smashed in all of those debates against the Hebrews. He said Polight's been taking L's all this time, so he seems as though he's pretty much confident in his own approach and what he's coming to bring. But I think he says he's got solutions to offer to the community at large. There's certain things that they're doing over in Israel and throughout Africa where they're uniting the so-called Jewish or Israelite or Hebrew tribes, those people who ascribe to being Hebrews or ascribe to being Israelites, either from blood lineage or ideology, all the way spanning from Iraq, Iran, Israel, the Congo, Zimbabwe, all these different Nigeria, linking them up together where they're kind of joining up and creating, not a Facebook, but creating something that is similar to what I would say is a Jew book, where everybody can interact with each other in a close-knit network, and also proposing solutions such as farming, agriculture, producing healthy foods, and other little economical and social solutions. So it's going to be real interesting to see what he actually has to say and actually has to offer.
Wait. So he's actually from Israel, right?
He's actually from Israel, but I do believe he grew up in the Americas.
And he believes that the original Jews were black.
He has stated that the Jews times were definitely of a darker hue. Yes, I wouldn't say he hasn't expressively used the word black, so I don't want to misquote him, but he has definitely said that they were of a darker complexion than him.
So if he's not being stern on that, then I just don't understand what exactly his part is to play in a Hebrew Israelite paradigm. If he can't acknowledge that, then what exactly is the point of him being involved? I don't understand that.
That's a good point. I think the whole issue is opening up to not only the black Hebrew Israelites or those people who claim the book being Hebrews, being the black community in America, but actually opening up to the broader community, to the white Jews who are in control of Palestine and Israel and those regions there, who claim to be the true Jews. The team Osiris is we've gone in there, we've broken down about the European Jews coming from the Khazars, coming from the Ashkenazis, and all these different tribes that supposedly have this J209 marker that does technically make them have paternal lineages that traces back to the Arabian Peninsula. But there has been heavily mixing with the European tribes that they've been a part of. So I think it's kind of opening up the conversation to see how do the white Jews view the black community, and how does the black community view these white Jews who claim to be, God's chosen people? And does these white Jews have authority over the black people according to the Bible, where, cursed be Canaan? And obviously we know that Canaan was, according to biblical theology, was a child of Ham, being an African. And it seems as though the African has been cursed according from the Jewish or the white Jewish paradigm. I believe Seti has brought this up. I believe Polight has brought this up, where the white Jewish community and as well as the Hebrew community actually revel in and enjoy festivities regarding the death and murder and butchery of the African children. And when we say African children, I'm talking about the Egyptian children, according to the story that's recorded in the Bible of Exodus, etc. So it's going to be interesting. I want to hear more dialogue between Polight and Zion Lexx, between Zion Lexx and Seti, between everybody, Rosenberg as well, because this is going to be really interesting. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but all I do know is actually opening up the measures, that it's not only limited to the Afro community in America, but it's spreading all the way over to Israel and kind of broadening up into a worldwide network. So, Basim, if you're there, could you just give us an overview, if possible, of what has actually been transpiring within the community regarding this Zion Lexx versus Seti debate?
Sure thing, Kalam. Let me first thank you for the invitation, and shalom, grace, and peace to all the panelists. As far as I know, Kalam, there's been a lot of discussion. There's an echo for some reason.
It's okay. Continue.
But I
continue.
did catch a live stream today where Zion Lexx did actually exclude himself from the debate. That was today earlier. He had various reasons on why he chose not to. I'm sure some of those played out behind the scenes. I believe from what was mentioned today that it will go on with the rabbi. He will be taking part in this debate and or discussion. I don't know if they plan to add anybody else to the roster, but I still think it's a very important topic. I still am interested to see it. And with that being said, I'd really feel more comfortable speaking on it, Kalam, after Seti or Zion Lexx spoke for themselves, good brother.
Definitely. So, I wasn't able to actually catch this. So I'm hearing this through the grapevine, so to speak. So what was the reasons that Zion Lexx actually gave? And that's to you, Basim. What was the reasons for not actually doing the debate? Brother Basim, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm here, good brother.
Okay, so I believe that you actually tuned in and watched the live stream. So do you know the reasons he actually gave for not actually doing the debate, so to speak?
I believe it was a combination of things. I believe he plans on addressing the community for himself. But I do know that one of the reasons he stated was some of the backlash he received, where the perception was given that he was teaming up with this gentleman, and I'm referring to Rabbi Rosenberg, to go against fellow African Americans or his own people. So there was some division there, but I believe that Zion Lexx is more than able to speak for himself. I'm pretty sure he'll be addressing the community as a whole. And like I said, that's briefly what transpired, and I'd be more than willing to speak with you, Kalam, offline, good brother.
Definitely. Wow. So what I'm hearing right now is, you know what? I believe that the general, Sara Suten Seti, did an excellent job. This is the art of war playing out. You know what? It seems as though that Sara Suten Seti has won the debate prior to the debate even taking place. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I actually mean by that? Is, I don't know if you've seen the video. There is actually a video that's out. Sara Suten Seti, it's called Sara Suten Seti warns Zion Lexx to not attend the debate. So it seems as though that the general, being the tactician, the strategic player, has already psyched out his opponent prior to his opponent actually coming on and to actually debate him and face off with him. Is this the case? Is this what has transpired? That the brother Sara Suten Seti done an excellent job in putting out a certain propaganda into the air. I don't think that Zion Lexx was fazed by the words of Sara Suten Seti, because we all know that Zion Lexx is fearless. That's without, we don't even have to go there. But I think that the brother Seti put out a particular propaganda to turn the community against Zion Lexx, and Zion Lexx felt that pressure to say, you know what, I may just have to back down from this because I'm sending out the wrong impression. I'm sending out the impression that I'm actually siding with this Jewish person against my black brother. But I don't know. Is that really what has taken place? Has Seti done an awesome job of putting out a propaganda message to influence and sway the decisions of Zion Lexx? If so, it seems as though he done an excellent prophecy, in the sense that he said, don't turn up to the debate, and then Zion Lexx has not turning up, or he's choosing not to turn up. You know what, everybody's sending off so much messages right now, I can't possibly respond to everything. So I'm going to open it up to the community right now before we get Seti back on. What do you think? If you saw that video, was it an excellent piece of strategy? Was it an excellent propaganda that was placed out by the brother to kind of spook Zion Lexx from even entering into the debate? Let me know. I'm going to open up your mics. Let me know.
I think so. I think so. I don't think that Zion would choose to not do the debate because Seti told him not to go there. That just wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. I believe it would probably be more because he wouldn't want the community to think that he's siding with a white Jew against them. That's my personal opinion.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Let me know. What is your opinion? I know we got Kufu, Team Osiris, Isa. Let me know. What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what the sister said. I was going to say the same thing. Again, I think it's more to do with not having control of the editing and how things are portrayed, if anything. That's what I think. So possibly why he suggested, if so, for it to be on your show, which I think is a clear sign that he's not actually afraid at all. Because for me, what he said already has more or less destroyed the debate. And he's got a whole arsenal of information I know he can bring because he's produced it before. So if he organizes it in the right manner in regards to this debate, which I still don't know the actual premise or topic or whatever, but you know what he done on that show that I saw was brilliant. So he ain't afraid at all. That's for sure.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So you know what this? Has anybody got anything else to say on that matter? Kufu? Okay. So you know what? There's so many people that's actually joining us right now. There's so many people that, you know, has been requesting the link, etc. We got loads of Team Osiris members in the studio right now with us. I'm actually trying to make sure that there is enough room so Zion Lexx and Seti can rejoin. Unfortunately, I have to apologize. Unfortunately, Seti doesn't actually have the Hangouts app. So what we have to do is, you know, get him to call a number for it to come through onto the live video chat. So we have to apologize. I do have to apologize in advance that that's the case, and that's why we haven't got him here right now. So I'm gonna keep it moving. You know what? We've got a few things to discuss. I want to know, from your opinion, you know, we've got a mixture of individuals in the room today. We've got Hebrew, we've got Black Power individuals, we've got Kemetics in the room today. I want to know, from your opinion, from what you've seen about the Bible, heard about the Bible, read the Bible, is the Bible specifically an anti-Black book or anti-African book? What are your thoughts on that? I'm going to open it up to Isa first of all. You know, I'm going to open it up to Isa. Isa.
Well, again, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. There's so much support, especially in the Old Testament, that shows you that it's more of a national and tribal thing. So it's about a specific group of people that's chosen, and their God favors them regardless of anyone else. So if it was Chinese mentioned there and they had to go against them, you know, if that was the people that they were enemies, you know, the same God will be talking against them. So if it was Europeans, Russians, it would make no difference as long as that God, you know, was allegedly against them, if that was the problem. So personally, I believe in relation to Canaan, that whole story with Noah and the curse, you know, not even going on the person who allegedly committed the sin, going to the son instead of, or was it, yeah, going to the son instead of the person who committed the sin. I think that was made up in a way somehow to justify taking the land. So, you know, it's nothing, it's just edited in a way to benefit those particular people with whom, you know, they're interacting for whatever reasons. So definitely no.
What was the question?
So the question is the Bible an anti-African book?
I don't think I think that I think doctrines. This is Garfield, by the way, brother Garfield. Peace to everybody on the panel. I think doctrines that come along with the Bible is anti-African. I don't think the Bible is anti-African per se. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. It's hard. It can be proven, but you have to do too much wiggling to prove it. I think the people who so what happened is we have ISUPK and a lot of One West people that is the tradition that we see who represent the Bible in the black community through the Hebrew Israelite religion. So we take that every time we talking about the Bible, we take that it's one of them that we're going to be talking to. So with Zion Lexx, who I know personally, he's nothing like these One West guys. He doesn't even believe in the New Testament. So with him, it's kind of different. And in a sense, I didn't see what the debate is really about. It has to be more than if the Bible is saying this about black folks or Africans in general. It has to be more than that. It can't just be that topic alone. Because if it's that topic alone, it's going to be a stalemate. It's going to be accusation thrown out based on One West doctrine. And Zion is going to come back and say, I don't do that. I don't follow that. I follow what the Torah says or the Tanakh. And then he's going to prove with the words of the Tanakh that it's not anti-African. Because, listen, God killed 1 million Ethiopians in the Bible. But we could say that's anti-African, but then he could come back and say, hey, they were killed for a specific reason. They came at Judah, so I was protecting my own. So it's not that it's anti-African. It's anti-whatever you do wrong against what I want as a God. So if you want to say the God is just a killing God, well, we can make that argument all day. He killed mad people. He killed his own Israelite people. He killed, after the Exodus, he killed, it was 600,000 men. He ended up killing 500,000 of them. Why? Because God just wanted to say, hey, I could do that. If you want to argue about that, well, fine, but not the whole African thing. I'm not.
You know what? Let me just open this up real quickly, because you know what? Those of you who are saying, you know, we want some Hebrews on the panel, I'm telling you right now, the link is actually down in the description area. Go to the description area and it says panel for the link. So if you want to come in and have your say, you know, I'm not hiding the link from anybody. The link is there. You don't have to request it. All you simply have to do is click in right now and come in, and you can talk with us. You can talk with us. You can share your opinion. You can share your views. We have over 135 people actually tuned in right now, and I'm sure many of you are Hebrew Israelites. You know, many of you are Israelites, or many of you, you know, adhere to the Jewish faith or the Judaism. So please click the link down below, join in the conversation, and let us get it in. But you know, one thing I need to let you lot know is we have 3 rules. The first rule is keep your mic muted at all times. The second rule is respect another person's cipher when they are speaking. Please do not interrupt them. And the third rule is no profanity. We don't have no swearing going on. This is a family-friendly show where we have children tuning in and watching the shows. But I do have to apologize because I can't have everybody in. So once you have your say, I am going to have to eject you, so there is enough space for Brother Zion Lexx and Brother Seti to call back in. And I have to apologize with the issue with certain people's who don't have the Hangouts app and has to go through the phoning in. So that's an issue that's we're sorting out right now. So I have to apologize, but we're going to have everybody in, so you're going to have your say. So I'm going to open it up now. We've got so many Hebrews that have just joined us in. I'm going to open up the mic to Igbo Hebrew. Igbo Hebrew. Igbo Kwenu, Igbo Hebrew. Come on.
Hi, Shalom to everyone. Good evening to you all, and I said peace to the communities out there. I just wanted to comment on something particularly, just one thing only. The community trying to blackmail Zion Lexx precisely on the fact that he's debating a non-black Hebrew Israelite. That is absolutely, that's so unprofessional of the community. If you're seeking knowledge, you're not going to seek knowledge based on color. If you're seeking fact, you're not going to seek fact based on hue. You want to focus on the point. I watched the debate and I saw Seti going violently, not debating the matter, but was ready to kill Zion Lexx with what? With his hands. That's how he was wanted to fight him. Zion Lexx was being mature enough, civilized enough. He's not bringing knowledge. He was going out to fight Zion Lexx. He was out for a fight, for physical battle. That was what he was going out to do. And I find that to be really, really childish. If you wanted to debate someone, you have a point you're debating on, you have a discussion, you want to have a discussion. That's what you want to do. You don't want to come out there and start fighting. That looks so childish. And a lot of people are getting turned off by that. I don't know how American people are carrying on with that, but for us here in the UK, I think that will turn a lot of people off, first of all. You want to fight, you get in the ring and go have a fight with Mayweather and the rest of them. But if you want to have an intellectual discussion, you come out and have intellectual discussion. Stop being a child. And this is just all about maturity. That's what I say. I'm from the Hebrew community. And we're not going to come out like Zion Lexx said. The Torah clearly says it. We see people from the Mizrahim. We see them as brothers because that is what the Torah says. Say, these are your brother. For 400s of years that you were in the land, they fed you. So you have to see them like your brother. You wouldn't tell me in 400 of years that we never had intermarriage, with the community. That happened. There are relationships.
That's right. That's
400s of years. So ancestors would have mixed one way or the other. So why is Seti coming up? And honestly, if you want to come up and be a decent role model to the rest of the black people around the globe to show a sign of peace, you don't want to come out there and start pointing hands and looking to hit his brother for bringing out information from his doctrine and his tradition and culture. You just have to say your culture and tradition. Do not buy that. And people who understand your culture and tradition would respect that.
Thank you.
But rather than looking to put a hand, that is just totally unacceptable from my time, the way I looked at it. And I think if that happened in the UK, honestly, no one would ever have an interaction with you because that was so childish.
I hear you. Thank you, Igbo Hebrew. We're going to hear some more from you in a little while. I just want to open up so everybody can have their say. You know what? I think so. You know what? My brother made an excellent point. I'm going to bring it down to the dunya level a little bit. But I think, we should separate this in a way, in the sense that we should have our intellectual discussions and debates. But if you want to get in the ring, kind of like the celebrity boxing matches, why not? Get the gloves on. Get all that testosterone, get out all that ego, get everything out, all that aggression that you have for each other out in the boxing ring. I think a good amount of people will pay some money to see that take place. So, I think that's what you may have to do first. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic or the YouTube. Yes. I think, first of all, get the gloves on, have a little fight with each other, do it for a charity or something, raise some money, and then afterwards actually have the debate where you can respect each other like gentlemen and move forward like brothers. So, the brother did make an excellent point. Okay, so we've got some new people that have joined in right now. I'm going to open up your mic. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead. Bunchy, Black. Okay, I'm open up your mics. Open up your mics if you want to have your say real quickly. Okay, if you don't want to have your say, I'm actually going to have to eject you from the Hangouts. So unmute your mic and have your say.
Can I speak?
I'm going to go after Israel doctrine.
Go on, Israel.
Okay. Well, it seemed like some controversy happened from the last time I was on the show. I was saying I was going with Rabbi Matthew, Harry. I said Matthew, Harry, Rosenberg, in the sense that he stands on the Torah. And Polight has never been my brother. He shot up the Bible, and the Torah is a portion of the Bible, the Tanakh, and the rest of the books too. So Ali Muhammad didn't call my name since the show, the last show, and Tazariak didn't call my name. I think it's a shame that Polight has played the black and white card on the community. As the Igbo Hebrew was saying, you know, the thing is supposed to be doctrine and teachings from the Melanetta and from the Torah. If you've seen the new flyer, that's what it says. And so therefore, I go with the Torah all day because I believe it's better than the Melanetta. And that's what the debate should be about, not black and white. And no one is betraying no brother. If you got dark skin or white skin or whatever, don't make you my brother. Number one, me coming from the New Testament, Jesus said, if you do the will of my Father, then you my brother. If you don't do the will of my Father, you're not my brother. So I know the brother don't deal with the whole Bible, but he deal with a good portion of it. And before Paul done wrote anything, it was Old Testament from Genesis to Malachi. So that's it. If the brother asked me to come up there and roll with him, I'll roll with him. You know, I feel bad that Zion left him like that because he already knew we was getting into it. When you make a covenant or agreement, you're not supposed to break that. So it's a shame that all this stuff is going on in the community. And with that, I'll say peace, y'all, and I'll be letting myself out the room. Thanks for letting me speak.
Definitely, Israel Doctrine. All right. So let's go. Who else is next to speak?
Can I speak?
Who's this? Hello?
Peace, peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Go on,
Yes, I was. I wanted to speak on.
Hold on, my brother. Igbo Hebrew. Just a moment. I just want to get everybody else to have their say, and then you can come back in again. Go ahead, my brother. Black, I believe.
Yeah. Peace. What I want to say is that I do think it's kind of a good thing that Zion Lexx backed out, but he still wanted to debate Seti because now they can't use the black. You teamed up with a white Jew thing against them. Now it's strictly on information, and if Zion Lexx and Harry Rosenberg, if they was to do the tag team, all they gonna keep throwing out is that Zion Lexx is a coon that said he did in a video and saying you're going against your people. So now that he's out of the picture and Zion still want to take Seti on, I think it's actually better for both of them because there's no more smoke screens or scapegoats that they could go to. It's strictly on information. And me personally, I have to go with Zion Lexx, and I'm not a Hebrew.
Ooh, that's powerful. That's powerful right there. All right. So the next person, please just open up your mic and speak. We're gonna try to get everybody to have their say. Go ahead. So anybody else that wants to speak that hasn't really spoken, if you're just here just to be in the panel and not actually speak, I'm gonna have to eject you because there's so many people trying to get in right now. So I'm gonna point to Brother Colin and then Brother Anthony next. So Brother Colin, do you have anything to say? Okay. Brother Anthony, do you have anything to say? All right. If none of you two have anything to say, Brother Colin, I do see you speaking, but you may have to unmute your mic. Brother Anthony, the same with you. If not, I do apologize. I'm going to have to eject you for the simple fact that I know some of you, I can see that you're possibly at work. Yeah, kind of black out your screen and talk if you want to talk. But I'm going to have to eject you. I do apologize because there's so many people, you know, trying to get in right now. There's over 150 people viewing the show right now.
Hello.
Yes,
Brother Kalam.
brother. Yes, my brother Anthony. How are you?
Hey, this is brother Anthony right here.
Peace, King.
Hey, I just have a couple of questions regarding the Zion Lexx.
Hello?
Okay, no, we're gonna let Brother Anthony speak. Okay, Brother Anthony.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here. Colin, could you please mute your mic?
Okay, this is for pure just questions in general regarding the brother Polight and Harry Rosenberg situation.
Okay.
Now I noticed when Polight started to ask him about the God who intervenes, he seemed to didn't want to touch that. I hope I don't offend anybody, but the spooky subject matter of who God is. He stopped Polight there, but where Polight could have went ahead and pushed forward with that same questioning is when Harry called God he. So we should want to talk about the God where he's referring to him as he. Who is that God? This is what hasn't been defined. And I'll go ahead and shut the phone down and have you guys answer me back.
Okay. So who is the he? Who is God? Can we properly define God? Is God a physical entity? Is God a spiritual entity? How does God actually communicate with human beings? Does God even exist? Are we attributing all these aspects to something that we have no knowledge about? We can't even prove his existence. These are very good questions that is brought up, and if you haven't already checked out the Speakers Corner playlist, or if you haven't actually subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button down below. Subscribe to the channel, check out our playlist. We obviously have our Talk with the Titans show that we do weekly, but we've also got another playlist called Speakers Corner, where a lot of us from the UK debate. We debate religiously. On every Sunday we go and simply debate atheist versus Christian, atheist versus Muslim, Muslim versus Kemetic, Kemetic versus Christian. You know what? Sikhs. Everybody is involved with the debates, no matter what color, complexion, hue, ideology, race, whatever it is. Every single one of us within the UK community that represents our own separate community comes together in one singular location to debate against each other and to share different ideologies. So if you haven't already, please check out our Speakers Corner section where you can tune into all our debates. So yeah, my brother Colin, I'm going to open up your mic right now, or you open up your mic right now and have your say.
Hello.
Peace, my brother.
Peace, my brother. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. I just want to say, hello?
You may need to turn down.
You may need to turn down your speakerphone.
Yes.
Sorry?
You may need to turn your speakerphone.
You may need to turn your speakerphone.
Because there is a
loud echo.
It might be his YouTube, bro.
Nah, my YouTube's off.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I just want to say, I just see a lot of weak black people on this thing. Like, I've been watching it for quite a while now, and people come out and produce facts. Like, we've produced the DNA results, and people are still talking rubbish. I don't understand it. I've just come to the realization that just because someone's black, they're not down for the cause. Everybody ain't got the heart for this. So if people want to go and live in the clouds and talk about Allah and Jesus and all that, yeah, let them do it. Like, everyone's not going to be on the same page. I don't understand why people want to keep going around. We produce the DNA results and people are still talking about this. How is someone going to produce, like, Ngozi broke it down, bare people broke it down. People are saying, oh, I'm a Hebrew. Just produce your DNA results and that's it. No one else will talk. Why are you having a debate about this and that? People don't understand the difference between black and dark skinned. So if you're dark skinned now, you're African. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I just think, like, not everyone's got the heart for this. So if you ain't got the heart for this, just sit on the sides. That's why I think, because it's just wasting a lot of time, and people acting like it's not, like, this stuff is not real. Like, people are, like, this like agenda against African people is real. Like, if we don't sort this out, we're gonna be destroyed. Like.
All right, no questions to him. Colin, can you just mute your mic, please? Thank you. Cool. You know what? This is what I would love. Hold on. I'm not gonna wait till you mute your mic. Sure. Yes, this is what I'm loving. You know what? Just to have, the various voices having their say. The UK community is definitely standing up today, and as you can see, we're very vibrant, very passionate about, what we perceive to be the truth. So I'm actually going to open up to another UK brother right now. It's my brother, my Senna, my Achi, my my heart right about now is my brother Stephen Graham. He is the producer, the director, the filmmaker that gave you Northeast Africa, The Hidden Truth. That DVD actually kind of showed you that Israel or Palestine is actually on the tectonic plate of Africa. It showed us with inside of the video as well for my Hebrew Israelites that the paintings of Jesus or Yeshua or Isa in the churches are actually black in the land of Israel itself. So there's so much things that this brother has actually done for the black community, done for the Israelite community, and I would love to just welcome him on the show right now. My brother Stephen Graham, peace. Stephen, after that long and lengthy introduction, you're not actually speaking. Now that's crazy. All right. So who else we've got here that's just popped in? God I am. If you have something to say, please speak. Yes, my Igbo brother, please speak.
All right, once again, sorry, Sharon. And to the brother that just called from London, from UK to be precise, I don't know if it was London or wherever he called from, but I wanted to address the issue of the DNA once again. Few times, if you realize a couple of years back, when people talked about DNA, everyone questioned where exactly did you get this source? What is the bone? Where did you get the sample that you're using to test the rest of the people? That question still remains unanswered to a lot of us today, right? But research has come up. Several other tribes and communities tested, proven, according to what is known today to be the DNA sample, and those research has been carried out. And if someone said to him, for example, someone from Buba communities in Lemba, come up with an Igbo identity and said that the DNA is proven to be this, he would never accept it until it comes from someone else entirely, which is the reason why it goes back to the discussion why they're using color code against Zion Lexx today. This is the reason why. Because if you don't believe in color code, this conversation will not be going according to this. We'll be going according to what is the solution, right, of all people. Why are we not always going after solution? We're always going after problems. And in whole of this,
can I respond?
Someone's mic, and I think he's come from Colin. Colin, please, could you please have your mic mute for a second? I'm just going to be off. I'm not really a long time talker. I'll have it brief and I'll go off. So our people are focusing more on creating problem rather than looking for solution. Someone outside of the community is coming, even trying to offer a solution. Then are listening to that. That is not my point. My point is saying, why are we focusing much more on the things that create more problem than the solution base? Our community is such a large community, yet these communities are not looking for solution, rather we looking for trouble and more problem. I just wanted to ask that.
Thank you.
Then if they want to talk about theology in terms of ideologies and beliefs and based on Torah, strictly Old Testament, then we can talk about that. But if you still want to explore social services, social areas that affect our community, and we're not ready to look up for the solutions, but we're ready to go for the next 400 to 500 years of blames on people, then I don't think it makes sense.
Thank you, my brother. And just to let everybody know, we're actually going to have Seti come on to the show on Sunday. So I will be sending out the invites later on this week, where Seti will actually have his own show. He's going to come on and he's going to give us a presentation. We're going to interview him. So if you've got any questions for the brother Seti, please inbox me on Facebook or send it to me via the Facebook groups, or even leave them down below actually in the comment section as well. That would be a great help. Any of your questions that you want to be answered, you know what, please leave them there. And you know what, I know my Moorish brothers have been going in at the moment. Obviously, Brother Reggie is going to be having a debate with the Moors. But I know that my Moorish brother, this is one of my greatest brothers as well, Lord Abba, has been going in on Seti and trying to correct the misinformations he perceives against the brother. So you know what? If you've got any questions for the brother, please leave them in the comment section so I can ask him on Sunday. And obviously, please join us on Sunday as well. You know what? We're gonna, you know what? Actually, let me open up the mic. I'm gonna open up the mic, but I want to ask a question. It's a very controversial question, and this is the question that actually got the room really heated. Can you please mute your mics? Otherwise, you shall be ejected. So yeah, this question here kind of got the room really heated between Seti and Zion Lexx. And that question is...
Hey, Kalam, before you say anything, you're flicking. Your picture is flicking. I don't know if it's my phone alone, but your picture is just flicking on and off.
Okay. I believe it's either people coming in and talking, but in terms of the live feed, it's perfect. So the question was, is Moses a murderer, or did he simply kill somebody? Did he kill someone, or did he murder him? You know, this was the question that got the whole room heated. We saw both brothers standing up, squaring off at each other, simply based upon this simple misunderstanding, or I don't know what to call it. Somebody being crafty or not being crafty. So I'm actually going to open that up in a little while for everybody to kind of have their 2 cents on it. I've seen it going on Facebook, where, you know what, the Hebrew community is saying, nope, the word kill and murder is 2 separate words. He didn't do it intentionally. But then you have the Kemetic community saying, you know what, this guy fully well understood he was living under the rules and the laws of the Pharaoh, which was Maat. And one of the rules of Maat is that you mustn't kill anybody. I have not killed. I have not slain a man. And he did a greater thing by trying to cover up his injustice by burying the Egyptian underneath the sand. So you know what? There's been a big debate that's going on Facebook right now pertaining to whether Moses was a murderer or not. I don't know whether it's good. I don't know whether we should open up that question right here and right now, or the new brothers who have joined in, please have your say and let me know what's on your mind. So I'm going to open up to my brother Amen. Amen, you've literally just come in. What do you have to say, and do you want to discuss whether Moses was a murderer, or did he simply kill someone? Or do we go by the mystical writings where it says that Moses didn't actually physically slay somebody, but it was by the word? By simply saying certain words, he killed the Egyptians metaphorically. That's if we go into the mystical teachings. So I'm opening that up to Amen. I'm opening that up to my brother Garfield as well.
Who's going? You want me to go first, or you want? I mean, you could go ahead. I mean, I'll go after you, my brother.
I don't believe Armin is unmuting his mic, so if he's not unmuting his mic, I shall be ejecting him. So, brother Garfield, go ahead.
Yeah, what I'll say to this, obviously he murdered the guy, and you know, whether you want to use murder or kill, there is a difference. But I'll say this though: does your faith rely on if Moses killed him or not? Or even if the story is true or not, you're going to believe in Yahweh regardless. So I thought the conversation was I don't know why the brother, I mean, some people take the stuff literal in the Bible. I don't personally. But the issue is, if Moses did do that or he didn't do it, does it change your faith? Or even if Moses is real or not, does it change your faith in God? I mean, you know, to me it was just, I don't know why the brother got upset over it. I really don't. But to each his own. And I guess Zion probably took it as a disrespect to say that. And, you know, he responded the way he did. But I'll say this, though. I mean, either way, Moses real or not, your faith's not going to change. You're going to believe in Yahweh regardless. That's the bottom line to it. So the story is just a story. So if you want to take the story literally, well, hey, to each his own.
Okay. What is your say on that? I'm opening up the mic, so if you want to speak, simply open up your mic and have your say.
From what I remember, it was presented with Moses allegedly murdering was the term used. But then the brother come back with that the person that I think the Egyptian killed was one of Moses's people. So the example given was if you saw someone hurting, you know, one of your own people, you would go in there and attack the enemy, correct? And apparently it was an accident that he, you know, didn't intend to kill him. He apparently gave him one blow in his head. The guy dropped down and dead. Apparently Moses was a big, powerful man. So the 2 points is, if you say murder, it depends which perspective you're coming from. Because from one angle, let's say Egyptian or those people at the time might see it as murder because they see them as inferior. So similarly, if black people are defending themselves against the KKK, for instance, people from the perspective of the KKK and general white population who may be racist, they'd be like, well, regardless, you murdered him. But black people are like, no, it's self-defense. He killed him, and justifiably so. Do you get my point? So this is where I think it's important when somebody's trying to portray that Moses had done something immoral, and Moses is the main example for the Hebrews. Therefore, obviously, they're trying to say, well, this immoral man killed another, what they call African, and they're supporting him in it. Do you get the point?
Interesting. Okay. All right. So I'm going to open it up. So who else want to have their say on this matter?
I think I want to have a say on it, though. I want to have a say on this issue of Moses murdering an Egyptian. This is a good example what the brother just spoke about. The KKK and our people going through the pains at which they're going through in America, and police officer walks up to an unarmed black man and shoots him down. Now, if you are a brother, or you were just an ordinary good human being, and you're walking across and sees that the police officer who just killed an unarmed black man is walking away and is going to walk away, and you're able to do something, are you going to kill the police officer to prevent him from killing the rest of the people, or are you going to let him kill the last man and come kill you the next man before you do something? I think that was the situation between Moses and the Egyptian. And what you see there, Moses killed the Egyptian because he was suffering the children of Israel, and they were busy stroking these children in his face. What is he going to do? He's going to kill them if he had the opportunity. If you're doing that to my brother and I'm walking across, I'm not going to sit there and start crying and say to you, oh, please, could you turn the other side of me so you can slap me as well?
Okay, that's a fair point, and I do hope, you know, our brothers and sisters out there would actually stand up for an injustice, because an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. So would you stand up and actually aid your brother if, well, a stranger who is your brother, if there was an injustice? Would you stand up and not only film an incident where you see a police member wrongfully harassing an individual? Would you jump in and protect that individual with your life? I don't know. Would you? That's a question. Are you your brother's keeper? That's what I want to know. Please let me know in the comment section down below. You know what? As well, if you're loving the information that you're hearing so far, please give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you like it. Remember, thumbs up, thumbs up. Hit that click button, hit that like button, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Also, please share this link. You know what? This conversation is real interesting. We're trying to go in. Please help us, help Titans TV to grow. Once you share this link, you know what? It opens up for your friends, your family, your community, your networks to actually view this video and view our channel, and it actually helps us to become more visible for other people to view the videos and actually get involved with these conversations. Because where do you actually get a chance to interact with the Titans? You know, Talk with the Titans is that platform that has been presented and given to the community for the community to actually interact with these said titans, and you know what, really get to the nitty gritty answers, you know, not just simply watching them on TV or hearing their lectures or whatever the case may be, but actually having the chance to interact with them, have a dialogue with them, ask your questions, and, you know, become part of the community that we're building. So, you know, we've got a wonderful sister that has actually joined us right now. Michelle, if you're there, please open up your mic, just simply unmute your mic and let me know what you have to say.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine, my sister.
Great. Well, I'm here in the United States, in Dallas, Texas. And here in the United States, we're seeing a lot of things. I was introduced to consciousness through my husband. And so then I started listening to Seti. And then which also linked me to Dr. Ben. And so with the information that they have given, it's logical information that I can follow and, you know, understand. And I sort of want to touch on what the brother said before in regards to why are we arguing or worrying about the issue when we need to be concentrating more so on a solution to the black situation. So I would like some of the gentlemen on the panel to address that, because at this point in time, this point in the game, arguing amongst ourselves is not going to solve the problem. It's just going to keep us more separate, more diverse. And it's like kind of awkward, because I don't know how it is over there for you guys, but over here it is so obvious, the separation in the nations and how the different nations and nationalities come together, but not the black people. And it's like, I really want us to be able to get this together, because I'm 48 years old, I have 8 grandchildren, and I want a future for my grandchildren. So I would like for all of us to, you know, concentrate more on coming together as a unified nation, instead of having all these sublets of different religions and beliefs. You can believe what you want to believe. This is my personal opinion. Believe what you want to believe. But at the end of the day, the color of your skin links you to me. And I should be your keeper. And you should be my keeper, regardless if you live next door or regardless if you live thousands of miles away. So again, I would like for some of the brothers to address that issue in regards to arguing amongst ourselves instead of coming up with a solution. I have a solution. I really do. I really think that it's going to take a lot of money, and I really do think that our predominant black, financially able, stable brothers and sisters, those are the ones that we really need to reach out and touch, because they have the resources to make it better for all of us.
Indeed. Thank you, sister. You know, we actually need to get you on another panel show again, because this is the type of, you know, this is what I mean, you know, that feminine energy, those words of wisdoms that's just been inculcated into us is been phenomenal. So I'm going to change the pace of the dialogue right now. I'm going to change the pace of the dialogue and say, you know what, let us have a much more fulfilling conversation. Let's have a much more fulfilling conversation. You know what? Instead of talking about the problems, let's talk about the solution. So you know what? Based upon your question that you've asked, sister, I'm going to open up the mic to my brother Stephen Graham. And Stephen, please, you know what? Give me some words of wisdom. You know what? Really compliment this sister with those words, with your own words of wisdom.
Well, first of all, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Great. First of all, I just want to say, you know, thanks for having me, and you know, everybody. I just joined in a while ago. I missed what was happening earlier, so I don't really know the conversation earlier. But I did hear the sister talking, and I'm 100% with what the sister's saying, because I don't know if anyone see my documentaries. I make films. I I made a documentary called Northeast Africa Hidden Truth, where I made it within Palestine, Jordan, and Egypt. For my travels, I'm constantly going to Palestine, Jordan, Egypt, Lebanon, and I, which to me, well, to my understanding from the research I've done, that is Northeast Africa. Palestine is a part of the Northeast Africa. It's not Middle East. We don't believe in Middle East. The concept, in fact, when you're in Israel, they themselves tell you that it's Africa, but yet when they project to the world, they tell everyone else it's in the Middle East. The whole concept of the way they live over there and the way my family over there they live, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Jew, in fact, I know there's a lot of vibes going on between the Kemetic community and the Israelites, and that's actually something that I really see happening in the West, not actually out there. Because when you go to Egypt, and I mean, a lot of people say that a lot of people talk about Egypt, but I'm very tight with the Kemetic community in Egypt. I ain't talking about Cairo. I'm talking about beyond Aswan. I'm talking about the brothers that are indigenous to that place. And if you ask them their ancestry, some will tell you that they're Israelites. And in fact, they actually have family in Palestine today. And this is factual stuff, and you can see these things are not that it's like we tend to be fighting over find a reason to throw each other's religions down or our beliefs, but not looking at the things that bond us and what actually brings us together.
Right.
And I think these are the biggest problems, because it's not if you have two, like I always say to people when I'm talking to people, if you got two cousins or two brothers that their children grow up and move from from place to place, along the way your ideology will change because of circumstances your circumstances your senders go through. There's a stronger connection between Asian Kemet and even the Israelite culture than many people believe. And this is, I think that's the biggest problem, because we're always trying to find the small things that divide us instead of looking at us that what actually connects us. It's like with Islam, there's so much connection between the way of Islam and the true practice of Islam, not what people do today and the way they uphold Muhammad above everybody else. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you read the scripture for yourself and then you look at the way you look at the concept of what's going on with the Torah. There is not a big difference. But it's just the people's ideology. We live in a world of separatism. This realm is about separatism. It's not, whether you're talking about chematology, you're talking about the Torah or anything. And if you look at the deeper aspects of all these cultures, there's never the philosophy behind it is never about segregation. It's always about everything is interrelated. But we, in our mortal way of thinking, or should I say some in their mortal way of thinking, want to segregate. And they don't want to actually look at what actually bonds them together. Instead of, they're more focusing on what actually separates them, which is what's causing a big problem. Right today in Palestine, they have big events where they're bringing the Ishmaelites and the Israelites are coming together. I ain't saying Arabs, I'm saying Ishmaelites. There's a big difference. Ishmaelites would tell you, like Bedouins, they would tell you they're half belong here, and they actually, most of them, their descendants come from Sudan. They are actually Nubian. And a lot of people understand that. When you go, if you ask a Bedouin, a real Bedouin, where do you come from? They will tell you, my ancestors come from Sudan, and other ancestors come from this land. But people don't talk about that or ask about it, because they classify everyone as Arabs. So I think historically we have to go back into how people intermingled, instead of looking at everything as segregated and, you're separate here and I'm here and you're there. We're not actually looking at how we're bonded as a people, actually what bonds us. A lot of tribes intermingled, and we've kind of gone away from understanding history and culture of tribals. When you go to West Africa, you find many different tribes, and you understand people got lineage. We look at lineage. We've got this kind of concept in the West because we've come over here, and I'll be very real. A lot of people's got that idea, well, we're all black in the West, and it's just like we're all just being black. It's cool, yeah, we're just being black, but we do have, if we go historically, we understand how we're historically connected, like tribes. Like, for instance, many people understand when they say, oh, Muhammad's an Arab. But he's not Arab. He's an Ishmaelite, and he's also an Israelite. His ascendancy is actually mixed, but many Hebrews don't say that. And many Muslims won't say that because they don't actually check the lineage of his lifestyle. When you go to, like, the Zagwe dynasty in Egypt and in Ethiopia, they're both in Egypt and Ethiopia. You ask them their lineage, they will tell you where he were mixed with Israelites. And also, a lot of tribes are actually mixed, more than actually we actually perceive, but because we're not going to look at the historical aspect of who these people are, we're going by, our own ideology. I encourage people to travel. Me personally, I think people need to travel more. Because when you travel, you actually see for yourself the real stuff instead of hearing what a man said or what a man's writing. People can write any doo-doo. It's not actually what someone's writing. It's actually going for yourself and talking to these elders who are there, who's got the oral tradition and tell you what goes, what happened. And that's really powerful when you're seeing it for yourself. Like, I'm in Palestine and I'm understanding that when the 1948 war happened, it happened on my people's land. And I didn't know that. But going there, this is what I learned. Like, this has always been our land. They plugged the well to stop us from going back to land. There's things that I'm finding out by just traveling that I will never just find out from a book. Find out people have connection to Asian Kemet, and that we have tribal connections to Kemet, tribal connection in Sudan. Today, if I did my DNA recently, my DNA came up. Kalam knows I've taught he's part of my documentary I'm doing about my DNA, and I also have family. I have family not just in Palestine, but my DNA comes up with Arabia, and as well as it comes up with Sudan and West Africa. So I mean, there's so much tribal intermixing, and in most people, if you know history, a lot of West Africans say they came out of Sudan, they came out of Egypt and those places. So we need to really stop looking at everything that's dividing us and try to find what actually, brings us together. Because division is easy, but unification is hard, isn't it? And that's what we need to try to work towards.
Powerful. I like that one. Say that again. Division is easy, but unification is hard. And what we need to do is actually unify, come together, and actually come together to achieve a specific goal under a specific purpose. You know what? Actually, I've come to realize now, my brother Zion Lexx, I don't believe he's going to be calling in. I actually think that his statement today was his final statement. I don't know. It's hurting my heart right now. I'm slightly emotional to say, like, what's going on with my brother Zion Lexx. I really hope that somebody reaches out to him. We've been trying to reach out to my brother Zion Lexx for a while now, before even the show started, to see what's going on, what has taken place, what are the implications involved. My brother Seti is still coming in. I'm just waiting for the good brother from DTK Radio, that's Do the Knowledge Radio, my good brother Born Knowledge, Allah, to actually get back at me, because he's the one who's getting Seti on the line. So I may just have to eject somebody, because I believe Seti is here, but the panel may just be full. So I might have to eject somebody. If you're not speaking, I may have to eject you. I'm sorry. We have to get the general on the line. So you know what? With that being said, I'm going to open up the mic right now, because I just need to speak with my good brother from DTK Radio. And also, I want all my brothers out there and sisters out there who's tuning to the channel is to, if you're in America, or even if you're from the UK, the UK has a very vibrant, booming conscious community. And you know what, there's not much light that's been shed on the UK community. Definitely on this platform, it's cross-continental, where we have a large American following, and we also have a large United Kingdom following. So, but I do encourage my American brothers and sisters to actually check out the UK channels. We've got Virtue TV. Please check out his channel. We've also got Black Eyes TV. Black Eyes TV is a phenomenal channel. Please check out that channel. And we've also got EP Global as well, which is my brother Stephen Graham. So if you want to learn about your Hebrew or your Israelite connection, you want to visit the land, and you want to find out more information about the land and the people there and the different tribes, you know what, this is a channel that you definitely need to go to. I'm pretty sure that you've seen a lot of these documentaries already, and now finally, you're having a live interaction with this titan called Stephen Graham. So I'm going to open it up right now. So if anybody has anything that they would like to say, please do. I'm just going to get Seti back on. So go on, everybody don't speak at once.
Can I speak?
Oh, go ahead, my brother.
I don't know, maybe I'm probably just talking too much today. But guys, pardon me on that, and sorry, my voice is a bit cracked. I'm not really loud enough for you lot to hear me. But Kalam, thanks a lot once more. But I just wanted to correct one particular impression that is going on here I've heard a lot of this whole conversation going into side where we're always taking sides, and this we should never always take side when in situation the rights, especially when it's politically motivated. We have to be on the center part of it to figure out what is actually the truth. Now, I've heard issues reference to Palestine and all of that at the same time, or reference to Israel. The situation is Palestine is an expression created by the Romans. Okay, so who were the people prior to that? That's why I love what Stephen said. I love what Stephen says because he stated on fact, he's going based on fact. Okay, if you look at the timeline, take the timeline backward. Prior to Palestine, it was the Judea. That was Judea. And before Judea, what was the place called? Then you had the Israelite, the kingdom before the kingdom division. And then he goes further back, then it comes Canaan. So this situation, each time we're using political terms, especially when we tend to say we are conscious people, we fight in this, we fight in that, and we're using political terms that align us to a certain people, and rather than facing the reality. And we also spoke of DNA. Stephen came up here and clearly, once again, someone else is going to come up here with based on a book written by someone sitting in London who has never been to the land. He's probably sitting in Daily Mail's office and he carries out this book and he's written so many compilations based on interviews conducted with researchers in the universities that he thought, based on presumptions. Okay, he reads all of this, and 80% of the people who has come up on this platform or other platform to talk has never been to the land. Stephen can bear me witness in this. They've never interviewed anyone. They presume there's a massive war based on all of this propaganda that you see on the media. They're not going by fact. But you get out on the fact, get on the ground there and see people talking to each other. You see that they're even darker people. Some Ngozi was talking, and he said the fact when Ngozi was talking, he gave those that he presumed were indigenous to the land and ruled out the real reality of the people. And the reality of the people is what he's totally rewritten. And we're complaining of people rewriting our history. And I borrow from the word. Someone from the same land says, for you to defeat the people, the first thing you need to do what? You delete the history, you rewrite it, and then you tell their story. Thank you, Brother Stephen, for being able to tell the people the truth. Just like they continue to hurt. In Nigeria today, they're creating another geographical expression called South-South. It doesn't exist. Tomorrow, in 200 years, in 10 years' time to come, you and our children are going to argue that there's something called South-South, and South-South doesn't exist. That's the same way you got the Middle East. No one has been able to show me the middle of America. No one has been able to show me the middle of Europe or the lower Europe. But it's only us that get this kind of creations. And we continue to argue over it rather than looking for solutions that help our people to get out of this mess that we found ourselves in.
Thank you. Well said, brother. Well said, my brother. You know what? I'm going to... Hold on. We got our brother Christopher that's joined in. I know my brother Colin that wants to say something as well.
I wanted to add to that too, brother. I wanted to add to that.
So I'm going to get my brother Colin, sorry, not Colin, Christopher, if you have something to say, please have your say right now before we open up. I'm going to have like a free-for-all going on. So Christopher, go ahead. Go ahead, you can speak. Okay. So you know what? We're reaching the end of the show right now. And I have to actually apologize because Sara Suten Seti, his phone, there is an issue with him calling in, so I don't know what's going on. But rest assured, we're actually going to have him on the show for Sunday. He was literally going to come in today, have a little quick battle with Zion Lexx, literally only like a quick battle with Zion Lexx today, and then he was just going to promote that he will be on Sunday's show. We'll have the whole show for himself, basically, because today was kind of like a discussion show between, both camps really going at each other. But on Sunday, we're going to dedicate the show to Sara Suten Seti, and by then we're going to have him up and running on the Hangouts. I do actually recommend our viewership to please, if you aren't already on Google Hangouts, please download the app. It only takes 2 minutes, whether you can run it off your iPhone, your Galaxies, your Samsungs, your HTCs, your Google phones, your laptops, whatever the case may be, you can run it. It only takes 2 seconds to set up. And I do encourage you to do it, because that way we can actually interface with each other. We can have dialogue. I know you can see on certain channels where they may have a number to ring in on, but because you're in Nigeria, because you're in the UK, because you're in the Caribbean, because you're in, where do we have somebody, Norway, because you're in, Croatia, all these different vast locations, to actually call into an American number is going to be very costly to you. So with this way, we can actually minimize that cost by you only literally paying for your Wi-Fi subscription or whatever the case may be, and you could literally call in for free and have a video call with us, or just have a voice chat with us for absolutely free, and you can speak with these titans that you may not be able to have access with because you can't call in to international numbers. So please do download the Google apps, Hangout apps, and call in. But we're going to have a free-for-all right now before we close out the show. And hopefully, I'm actually still trying to get Seti back on the phone, because I need him to promote it. Because when Seti comes on, it is fire. It's fire. We were speaking into him earlier on. Isa, Isa, you're there, Isa. I'm just kind of upset that we never hit the go live button when he was going in, And with that southern slang, you know how Seti speaks. I'm upset. Talk to me, Isa.
I wish, I don't know, I was actually tempted to record it, actually, but I was going to ask permission.
Next time, not ask permission, because something like this happens where the phone cuts out. Please just record it, because we could be playing back. He was going in as well, and we said to him, hold up, wait up. We're not live on air right now, so please hold all that good information till we hit the live button, and look at it now. We don't have him on the line. So I'm going to open it up, please. You're going to open it up, have a free discussion. I'm going to literally just go off for a little bit and try to make sure I can get Seti back on the line. So go ahead, my brothers. Colin, actually, go on. I know you want to speak. Colin, but you know what? There's a big issue with your line.
What's wrong?
I think it might be my feedback. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to address a couple of the things that have been said. Like, people are talking about people are focusing on the problems rather than the solutions, but the solution is to address the problems. That's the reason why. And talking about people are focusing on the divisions. The reason why we keep on talking about like people's beliefs and these religious systems is because they are in themselves, they separate you from everyone else. So we're talking about having an ideology based on race, based on uniting about us all being black, but people want to unite around being Hebrew. If you unite around being Hebrew, you're including people of all races, and you're telling us that you're not with us. You're telling us that you're with Hebrew. That's why you have so many black Hebrews that are sympathizers with this Harry guy. Yeah? Because you sympathize with the culture. You unite around the Hebrew culture. These two agendas are not the same. And we have to come to this realization. It's either we've got the same agenda or you haven't. We're not going to dance around with all this religious talk. People talking about they're from their people whose lineage goes to West Africa, talking about their Hebrews, they're this and they're that. Based on what? You're reading a book, yeah, to tell you who you are. I don't understand this at this kind of age. Like, as a full-grown man is reading a book to tell himself who he is.
So, my brother, what would you say? Could you see your mic while I'm speaking?
Sorry?
Could you just mute your mic while I'm speaking? I'm going to get you to speak. Okay. So what would you say to those brothers and sisters that's actually done the genetic test, have found out that their marker goes back to those people, those ancient Israelites, those people are living in the Judea region, living in the Palestine region, living in the Arabian Peninsula region, living in the Ethiopian, Egyptian region, that trace their lineage back to, Hebrew or Judaic customs. There's a lot of us, are coming in from Africa or coming in from the Caribbeans that hold on to a similitude of Judaic customs. What would you say to those brothers and sisters that say, it's not that I'm trying to be Hebrew, it's just by default my blood lineage and my customs are Hebrew? What would you say to those brothers?
Is that an open panel question?
Hello?
That was to Colin.
You're saying your blood lineage is Hebrew. Is that what you said?
Yes. What do you say to those people that say that by default their blood lineage goes back to the Hebrew? So for example, we have tribes over here. So, a man might be from the Igbo tribe, might be from the Yoruba tribe, might be from the Akan, Ashanti, Ewe, Efe, from, Jelof, all these different locations. Like, these are their tribes. This is their identity. These are their customs. So what do you say to those brothers and sisters over here that can trace their lineage back to these people? Are they supposed to give up the tribe that they're from and jump on the black agenda? What are they supposed to do? So just unmute your mic if you can. Unmute your mic if you want to speak. All right.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I heard you. First of all, it's not a tribe. It's a culture. Tribes have cultures, but it is a culture. The Hebrews were not a race. They were not a tribe. You can't say Hebrew in the same way you say I'm Igbo. It doesn't make sense. You can't say Hebrew in the same way you say Yoruba. It does not make sense. It's not the same thing. So if you're Igbo, be Igbo. What do you mean Igbo Hebrew or I'm Igbo, I'm this? It doesn't make sense.
Can I jump in here just for a second?
Yeah, go ahead. Jump in, brother.
Yeah.
Colin, just mute your mic for a second. Let the brothers speak, and then you can have your say again.
One thing Colin said there, I think he's in error. He said it's not a tribe, but as far as I'm concerned, Abraham and Sarah were chosen to beget a family that would be a priestly nation unto the world. So to me, that is a tribe. That is a family. So I don't know where he thinks it's not a family, because as far as I'm concerned, it is a family.
Can I say something?
Could I jump in and say something, please?
Let me get in after that.
Let my sister Courtney, hold on. Let my sister Courtney say something first, and then the rest of you can jump in. Go ahead.
I just want to say this, and I don't even know if it's completely on topic. I think that there's this misconception that we all have to agree. That we all have to agree with what this person believes, what this person claims to be. At the end of the day, I believe that most of us on the panel will acknowledge that that there is a system of global white supremacy. And white people don't all agree. They're not all the same religion. They don't all speak the same language. They don't all come from the same country, but they're winning because they understand that they're the ones in power and they make a structure so that they're the ones who are always winning. They have a structure in place that they're always winning. We're the only people who sit here and argue about all of these things and think, okay, well, we all have to unite under the same banner of something. We're all black. When these peace officers are out here killing these young black men, they're not asking if they're Hebrew, if they're Muslim, are they Igbo, are they this or are they that. They look at you and they see that you're black and they're killing us. That's what it all boils down to. So talking about Abraham and Sarah are not here right now. You tracing your DNA, and that's fine. I'm not saying anything against people tracing their DNA. If you want to know where you come from, that's perfectly fine. But today, right now, in 2016, none of that shit matters. I'm sorry, Kalam, we can't curse. I'm sorry. None of it matters. We're all losing right now. We're all black on this panel, and we're losing. And white people are winning, and that's the end of it. That's the bottom line.
Hey,
and that's what we need to deal with. Again.
Let me get in after Sister Courtney, man. Well said, Queen. Listen, I just want to say this, man. I just want to say this. We are all in America are in some sort of under white supremacy. We're black. I've never found a religion or a teaching that can protect me from a cop stopping me on the block here in New York and stop him from shooting me. The day I find a religious teaching that could stop that, I'll follow you immediately. Show me how to follow it and how it stopped the cop from shooting me or abusing me on the street, and I will follow it. From then forward, we know that we're targets. And it's a reality here in America. You young, black, between the ages of 18 and 25, you're a main target. You're a main target in this country. I can't speak for England. I don't live there. But I'm telling you what's going on in America. And no religion or belief, whether you're Moor, you're Muslim, you're Hebrew, you're Israelite, whatever you want to claim, is not going to stop any police officer from beating the hell out of you. The only thing you can do is try to stay in your house and stay out of these situations. But otherwise, no teaching is going to help us. So now, as far as unity, if anybody's going to unite, I'm willing to unite with anybody, as long as your religion is not a part of uniting. Like Garvey. Garvey had the UNIA. Religion never played a part. He was a Christian, but guess what? He had Hebrews with him. He had Muslims with him. Ask Isa. He'll brag and tell you. Muslims was up in there. He had everybody up in there. So
exactly.
We gotta unite based on common causes, man. We can't unite based on religion. And
We've
anybody
got to
who want to
unite
believe
economically, I think, at least minimum, and have some kind of political authority. We've got no political authority or financial authority, so
One sec, bro.
we're going to end up nowhere.
East is next, bro.
Pardon?
East
Go
is
on,
next, bro.
go on,
Yeah,
Issa.
basically, what I'm saying is, unfortunately, you have a lot of straw men being pulled up here as though anyone's saying that if you follow their religion, you know, you get a Holy Ghost that protects you. No one's saying that. We're saying, what is the methodology, the system, the ideology that you can hold on to, which will lead you to liberation if you practice it, if you follow it. That's the point. In regards to what Brother Colin's saying and what the sister's saying, again, I do agree with Colin that the reason why we're having these debates is supposedly to sort out the issues, because we've been trying systems that have been failing.
Got some bread?
But
You didn't buy no bread?
But the problem has been that the systems that have been presented, a lot of them were only for a certain period of time, and because they didn't evolve and change with the times that we were living in, therefore they were failing. So I agree with Colin in the sense of debate, but unfortunately, he's on the wrong side. His team are just going around in circles and always have been. You know, they use most of what the Caucasians would use to hoodwink us, similarly to what they did with Christianity, when they come up with the idea of an identity of being an African. That's similar to the N-word. There is hardly any difference between that terminology and the N-word and what it relates to as being subhuman and the most primitive amongst the human beings. So holding on to the term African and what it represents is ridiculous when you're trying to talk to a Hebrew. At least a Hebrew is coming with something of a realistic something in history that has a nation. It's not a tribe. It's a nation of people or a group of people that have tribes among them. So regardless if you want to say, well, you know, there was never one tribe called Hebrew or whatever else. There was an understanding of a collective. I'm sure if you go to the Igbo people and the Yoruba, people among them, their DNA is not going to represent everyone else's. People have been mixing from going way back. But the point is, what was the common identity and language and traditions that they practiced? That's what made you know that this generally is that group of people, whether nation, composed of tribe, etc. So again, I have to say, but brothers who want to speak against what Colin was saying, religion, I guarantee where I'm representing the Islam of the Quran, all of you will fail if you come against that. But we're talking about, you know, the Hebrews for today.
Man. That book there, man, that book is definitely sent from a dark place, man.
Yeah, we can deal with that another time. I'm saying
you can. You speak very boldly about these things, but I think that you shouldn't be so confident.
No, I guarantee you. Listen. Anytime you want to have that discussion, I guarantee you.
I've been studying the last 3 years intensively.
Hold on, brother, hold on. Listen, because I'm saying we're not discussing the Quran today. I'm just saying, if you would like to have that discussion, I guarantee your full annihilation within 10 minutes.
No way, man. Never.
Yeah,
never,
so we can do that another time, bro.
Hold on. You know what? Sorry, can I say something, Kalam?
Go ahead, my brother.
You know, I'm listening to everyone talking still, and like me personally, I think we look at the understanding of nationhood, and I hear what they say about, you know, or identify ourselves as black, and our religion shouldn't actually be something that makes a big issue. Like I said before, and I don't know if everyone heard me, in Palestine today, despite when you're Christian, Muslim, you're Hebrew, you're Jewish, you're Ethiopian Jew, the people literally, the black people literally live together. They don't fight. If you watch my documentary, Northeast Africa, you'll see they literally live together. They don't fight like how I see people in the West do. And the misunderstanding that people have about nationhood and Hebrew isn't actually, Hebrew isn't actually the nation of Israel. The nation of Israel are different from being actually Hebrew. This is a big misconception. Number two, you got to bear in mind that in every tribe you have sub-clans. This is what people misunderstand. You have sub-clans. So, like for instance, the brother there who's an Igbo, he knows himself in Igbo. You'd have different parishes. You'd have different dialects and people, the way people talk. Doesn't mean they're different people, but it's sub-clans of the people. In Palestine is likewise. In our family, in the Tel Aviv, which is one of the oldest tribes in Palestine, you have sub-clans. Sub-clans, you find that without the scripture. The Bible tells you that sub-clans. The Bible talks about the Bethlehemites, which is technically all Jesse's sons, because maybe David wasn't his only child. Then you have the house of David. And then within the house of David, you trace back further down, you have Bani Najjar, which is also the grandmother of Prophet Muhammad. So it's in every tribe, there's sub-clans, and people have to bear in mind that. So if someone's got a different name today, always using by a name, you're going by, it's a sub-clan name. That's not a big issue. People need to, like I said, I think we need to do more understand about history, and if you understand where people come from, we won't be fighting each other every day about Kemet and who's ruling, and if Islam's better than Kemet or Kemet's better than Islam, because there was a connection between Kemet and Islam, and that's not a hidden fact. There's a connection between ancient Egypt and Arabia. We all know that. Tribally and historically, it's like everyone's still trying to find something to pick and peck at one another. Why don't try to find, if you're really comfortable in your religion or what you believe in, you won't even be worried about what next man's actually doing, because your persona and your way you carry yourself, that's enough to make people even think about, what they're really about or what's really right from wrong. But
that's all romantic what you're saying there.
Hey, let me say something real quickly.
Other religions, yeah. Okay, let me try my brother Garfield talk. Mute your mic.
Let me say something. No. Hold on a second, brother. Hold on a second. Let me just address this guy named Issa real quickly. It's obviously you don't know history, my brother. You just said that the Israelites came from different tribes and developed into whoever they are. If anybody Near East history,
I just said, brother. I wasn't just speaking.
Hold on a second, brother. Yeah, don't interrupt me. I never interrupted you.
No, but you just said
I never. Hey. You wasn't talking to me, but I'm correcting your misinformation. That's what I'm doing.
I wasn't just speaking.
Hey, my brother, why are you interrupting me?
Go ahead, Garfield.
Follow the orders, man. Now, let me just make this clear to everybody that's listening. Israel, and another brother, I have to correct another brother from earlier. The names, you have to study the names of these areas. When Egypt was in charge, right, they used to call it Levant Retenu. All right? They used to have a name for it. After the Egyptians, the Arameans had a name for it. The Assyrians had a name for it. It was called Ibanari. Then the Persians also call it Ibanari. We have to know the names of the area. When you say Israel, beloved, Israel was not considered as big as Canaan when back in those days. It was a small area up in the northern part of Canaan. That's the problem. And once you realize in history and biblical history is two different things. I'm not even going to address what Issa said. I'm just going to leave it alone. But I'm just going to tell you guys, once you address that, and that the term Philistine actually was kind of early, and they said Philistine led to the term Palestine or whatever. You see, all this name stuff is why they have all these problems in that area. Without the Bible, the people who call themselves Israelites really don't have any part to play in that area or that land. Is because of what Abraham did. So if these figures are really made up and these stories are not true, you really don't have we shouldn't even be arguing about Hebrew Israelites. It's really a non-factor here without the Bible. But if you believe in the Bible and the Quran, then they have a say in that land. So that's where religion is bad for us, if it's not true. But if it's the truth, and we're standing on truth, and we say, hey, Garfield is right. Israel is really the northern part of Canaan, and then you have Jordan, and you have all these surrounding areas, and you look at it differently, then we won't have these wars that we have based on religion, and people talking about Armageddon and who's World War III and Saddam Hussein and all these kings and all this stuff in that region is coming to war, and it's because of religion. That's the bad part of religion. The good part is trying to live upright and try to live according to the laws. There's nothing wrong with that, following your God and living by the laws. But if you start to go around and say your religion is the best religion and try to act on it, that's the problem. That's when Garfield comes in and smack in your face and say, let's deal with reality. So this is what divides us. It's not an issue that we don't have a bound between us as far as color. We do have a problem. But the problem is people who have a certain religion don't want to unite with people who don't believe what they believe. And that's the problem. They don't want to. Hebrews right now, hold on a second. Hebrews right now will not unite with Garfield because of my quote unquote anti-doctrinal Hebrew stance. But I will unite with them regardless. If I see a police attacking them, I will jump in, although I don't believe what they believe.
What do you actually,
because I have love
stand for, though, man? Because you're really going on now. You've been talking 5 minutes. But what do you stand for, Garfield?
Can you all mute your mics, please? Because we are about to close the show. We've literally reached the end of the show already. Now, everybody who is watching right now, they can actually hit the link and be able to come into this after show special where we're going to have all the brothers and sisters talking behind the scenes. And obviously, as you already know, we usually have loads of the Titans literally just flooding in, coming after the show and actually discussing with everybody. So if you wanted to speak with the Titans and talk with the Titans, well, you can talk with the Titans two ways. You can join the link that's in the description down below, or you can simply go onto our Facebook group called Talk with the Titans, and you'll be able to talk with the Titans. I need to do a couple of plugs real quickly. If you want to support the show as well, if you go down in the description box, there's a Patreon account where you can literally donate on a monthly basis. You can donate as little as $1 a month, or if you donate up to $15, you get a free Speaker's Corner DVD delivered to your address as well. So please, if you want to help and support the cause and support these shows and for it to continue the way it is and growing the way it is, please just join the Patreon and donate some money. Otherwise, another way you can simply help is simply just hitting the like button and sharing this link with everybody, and leave your comments. Let me know what you think of the show so far. Let me know how we can improve the show, and let me know who you would like to see on the show as well. Obviously, we've got Sara Suten Seti coming in on the Sunday, this Sunday, 6 p.m. EST. And then on the Wednesday that's coming up, we're going to have a couple, a Babalawo couple, or Ifa practitioner couple coming in to let us know about Ifa, let us know about the Upon, let us know about, there's so much they're going to let us know. So I'm going to post that out very shortly so you can join in with the discussions. So, you know what? Does anybody have last closing words? These are closing words because we're going to close the show. If you have a last closing words that you would like to say, please say it. But obviously, we're going to carry on behind the scenes and carry on with the dialogue.
Okay, yeah, let me
Hello?
Go on, Colin.
Hello?
Colin, yes, go ahead.
I just don't understand, how it's not clear. Like
okay, pause that talk because we're gonna have the closing words and we're gonna carry on this discussion.
I'll just say, brilliant show, and I think we covered a lot of different angles and problems, that our people are coming from. I think we covered a hell of a lot, despite the subject supposed to be in something specific. I think a hell of a lot more was brought out. And in general, brilliant manners and so on and so forth. So, yeah, brilliant show, bro.
Thank you, Issa. And I'm going to open it up to, the Queen of Wisdom, Michelle, to actually give us some closing words. Go ahead, my sister.
Thank you. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate everything everyone has to say. But I want to leave this with you guys when it comes to the brothers and sisters in the United States. You have to realize that we're dealing with people that have been psychologically damaged. So when it comes down to spirituality, they are nowhere in tune with that. So, I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to grasp a lot of us because the way we were fed this spirituality. And we don't have the convenience of going to this tribe or this location and track down our ancestors in that way, because we have to realize we were not able to speak our own language. We were not able to read, write. So we have to think about those things when we're dealing with the people from the United States, because they are so far lost that the arguing, they're going to continue to stay lost. So we need to try to figure out a way to agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, it's all about unifying our people and bringing us home, because that's one thing that we never got. Nobody came and got us. Nobody thought about us. We have to figure it out. So we have Seti, and we have all the other gentlemen that I listen to, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, all of those ancestors. I really appreciate the time and the effort that they put into at least trying to keep that history alive, because whether you guys know it or not, they're taking slavery out of the school books for the kids, and they're calling us immigrants. They're calling us immigrants. Immigrants choose to go where they want to go and migrate. We didn't have that choice. So I want you gentlemen to, think about that when you're dealing with us. I can't speak on what you guys are going through over there. I'm sure it's way more intense. But, think about us and think about, we want to come home, because what we see and what's depicted to us is desolate. But I know it's not that way. And I've never been there, and I would love to go there. But I just don't want the arguing to hinder the unifying of us black people.
Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. You know what? That's literally just brought us into a nice, mellow, calm, thoughtful atmosphere right now. I think one of our mottos with Titans TV, Talk with the Titans, is that, we can agree to disagree. And unification through diversity is the best way forward. Unification through diversity. What I mean by that is, this platform or panel members, this platform is shared by all different types of ideologies, whether you're a Hebrew, a Jew, a Muslim, an atheist, a Kemetic, the list goes on, an Ifa practitioner. We're unifying right now. We're coming together. We're sharing dialogue. We have people calling in from Nigeria, people calling in from the West Indies, Trinidad, America, Canada, Australia, Tokyo, all these different areas, and we're all unifying, though we have various differences, various ideological differences, various ethnical differences, whatever the case may be, but we're unifying, we're coming together, we're sharing our experience, and we are, becoming conscious and aware of each other and the position that we are sharing in the world today. So with that being said, I would like to just close this live portion of the show. And those of you who are viewing in, please share this link when we go offline. Share it to your friends, share it to your family, and please get them involved with the conversation and dialogues in the comment section down below. This has been Talk with the Titans, and I've been your host, Kalam, and I'm signing out. Peace to you all.